people. Woo!
Can you believe it? That's right. Welcome back. We are live here from the beaches of the Red Sea in beautiful Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for the FISE World Series 2018 launch event. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We're about to get ready for the finals of the Roller Freestyle Park Pro out here in Saudi Arabia. On behalf of myself, Ryan Meyer, and Freddie White, my inline commentator. Freddie, thanks for joining us, man.
Well, thanks for letting me back in. I kind of expected the security to not actually let me through today, but apparently I'm back, and I'm really happy to be with you, Ryan, and to be with all of you, all 5 of you, on the other side of the screen today.
It's absolutely amazing. Thanks for the group 5 joining us out there. Thank you so much. Big shout out to our inline community watching at home. Shout out to Yo-Yo, Dom Wagner, and AJ. Anyone else?
Quite a few others, but I'm not going to start making lists now.
Okay, but anyways, look at the course, you guys. Can't you believe it? We are in one of the most prime locations that action sports has ever come to. We have never been able to make it to a place like Saudi Arabia, and we're so thankful that they have welcomed us with open arms. The General Sports Authority of the KSA. It's just been absolutely amazing, but we don't stop just here. There are 5 more locations that the FISE has partnered up with. The FIS has teamed up with many international federations, so each of them are going to host their own World Cup. And that's where you see it starting. Hiroshima, Japan, April 6th to 8th. That's going to be our first stop of the tour, and that's the next one in 2 weeks' time. Then moving over for the 21st time to Montpellier, France. It's where it all started, May 9th to 13th. That's going to be stop number 2 on the calendar. And all the way across the Atlantic to Edmonton, Canada, July 13th to 15th. Moving again for a second time over to Budapest, Hungary, September 7th to 9th. Very happy to go back to that absolutely beautiful city. And then finishing it off, like we always do in China, Chengdu for November 2nd to 4th. Make sure you guys join us there. Tag, we're going to be coming for you. Watch out, Ellen. If you guys not able to make it out to any of those stops, make sure you guys follow us on social media, check out the web feeds, and list this all in your calendar because we are coming at you on every platform possible. Check us out on YouTube, /user/FISE events as well. Our FISE Facebook page, which is FISE.official. Twitter is FISE World, and our Instagram is @FISE World as well. You can check us out on Snapchat and on our live webcast. Obviously, check out FISE.tv. Make sure you hashtag your post to stay involved with all the action. Hashtag for this event, FISE JEDDAH. That is FISE JEDDAH for FISE JEDDAH. As well, we want to make you come into all the love, so hashtag love.
Yeah, let's
special action sports event.
Let's keep that one going, love.
Check out the weather there, 36 degrees Celsius under the absolute blistering sun. There's a slight bit of wind and tons of humidity, especially as we're going to go into the night. But as these riders are getting ready to warm up, how are they going to be competing out here, Freddie?
The format, until notified otherwise, is the same as yesterday, which means we're going to have 3 runs per rider, 50 seconds, and the best of those 3 run counts. Pretty simple. It's 8 of them in the finals, and it's 8 of the very best riders on the planet right now. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. I hope you are all excited because I know I am.
And then not just talking about the format, but the people who are judging that criteria there. We have a panel of 3 very expert gentlemen over there.
We have Blake Bird on the right side from London. We have Anthony Avila, French legend, in the center, and Maxime Genoux from Switzerland, who was supposed to compete in this competition and actually got hurt on the first day. So he's joined the team and bringing some Swiss expertise.
So, like the competitors, we have a very expert panel of judges. Why is that so important for a sport like this?
I mean, there's so many criteria, there's so many ways to appreciate and try to judge blading that it's important to have like a variety of experiences. And yeah, those judges have been around for a long time. and they know what they like. And today it's going to be a mix of a bit of everything, like technical difficulty, of course, and the amplitude are two of the main factors, but also the use of the course, the creativity, and how well you can put lines together. The flow you can keep on such a course is going to be one of the very key elements.
We're talking about what it takes to make it on top of the podium, diversity, creativity, and as well we had a lot of conversations yesterday about your own self-expression, and a rider who was able to deliver that yesterday and ended up on the very top of the podium, Nicolas Servi. Let's take out his winning run from yesterday's qualifier.
Right, and here he goes with a really powerful line, starting with a 450 Hurricane topsail, hard spin topsail, many names for that one. Big spins everywhere. He reaches for the highest obstacles on the course with this big wall ride and goes back full speed. What's really impressive is how well he's able to keep that line going. Cruising through the whole park with big tricks everywhere, technical stuff as well. That first transfer he did was absolutely amazing. And he does it every time. What's really impressive is that Nicolas Servi didn't fall at all during any of the 3 runs, and he kept on going until the very last of these 50 seconds. Every time, big flat 540 transfer, another big 5 Liu Kang on the wall, and he keeps on going until the very end with a facky backflip.
So that's what it took yesterday to make it on top of the podium. French rider Nicolas Servi finished up on first there, and you see our athletes, all our skaters lined up there ready to do the live introduction for the JEDDAH audience. In second place there, that's Joe Atkinson, who as well we talk about the diversity and creativity within his riding style. And so we are going down for the rider introduction. Throw it down to our live MC.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, here we are for the roller freestyle park final. I'm great, and I'm going to introduce you the top 8 roller. He comes from Scotland. Please make some noise, Mr. Jack Scott Queen. Okay, straight to Geneva, Switzerland. Please welcome Mr. Diego Guillou. Come from Sydney, Mr. CJ Wellsmore. Come from Gap, France, Mr. Romain Abrat. Come France too, Mr. Julien Cudeau. Oh, sorry, Johan. You're Benoit, sorry. From Paris, sorry, my bad. Mr. Julien Cudeau. Straight from Rockshire, Mr. John Kinson. And the top from the qualifier, from France too, Nicolas Servi. Okay, we got the top 8 in this funnel. We probably got the best riders in the world, and I can't imagine how I'm happy to be with you here. It's the first time that the World Series Lunch event is the first time ever. We got action sports here. Please, my friend, Artur Safakar. Okay, you got it.
And thank you very much. Those are our top 8 going: Scott Quinn, Diego Guillou, CJ Wellsmore, Roman Abrat, Yuma Boudouin, Julien Cudeau, Joe Atkinson, and finishing off our top man of the day yesterday in the qualifications, Nicolas Servi.
Yeah, lots of French riders in this list. It looks like the FISE might have a little bit of how do you say this? It might have helped this generation of riders get more experience on bigger courses. All these guys have been going to FISE events for since the very start of their career, and it might have helped like getting used to riding these bigger transitions, these bigger parks that you only see on events such as the FISE.
You know, it's very interesting to me, actually. I was having a large discussion with a few locals yesterday, and they spoke of, you know, BMX is not the popular sport here, but actually the main and almost only popular sport is inline in Saudi Arabia, which is quite a nice contrast, I'm saying, as what we're used to.
Yeah, I guess the guys who got here a bit earlier got a chance to ride with the locals. They visited the local skate park. There's a local skate shop, a local distributor for some of the most popular brands in the sport. So I guess, yeah, like inline for some reason was here before we even got here. So that's why it's a nice, let's say, the icing on the cake to see Mr. Scott Quinn riding the course today and giving them a little impression of what it is to practice on such a big course.
There you go, Scott Quinn. He's going to call it before the buzzer. It's just so hot out there and so much fatigue for these athletes coming all the way from Scotland. That is quite the culture shock right now.
Yeah, and that might explain why T-shirt. All these guys have been trying to change clothes to adapt to the hot weather. All these trendy, fashionable gentlemen came out with dark clothes, and they've all been fighting and trying to find some nicer, fresher attire.
We're not going to the backhand out here.
And here we go, a nice little disaster topsoul on top of the quarter bowl. He's been doing tricks everywhere, but I guess he didn't link them up as well as he would have liked. He had a solid run yesterday and qualified in 8th place.
Now, Freddie, you have been a judge previously in the past, we said, for many years, actually. So you have a lot of experience, actually, dissecting runs like this and understanding the difficulty that a rider is putting in and the switch that, you know, the next rider might take the same line but have a little bit of a different flair to it. Could you walk me through maybe this corner rail section by the G-Shock? Because we're going to have a lot of people hit that, for instance, right out of the gate. It seems like a fast section, and you know, what would a judge be thinking, how they can change up the scores per rider there?
Well, I guess compared to some of the other obstacles on the course, which are more like straightforward, like the big fun box or the big wall ride, this part is more intricate. It's a mix of different elements, and I guess that's one of the best areas on the skate park for the riders to bring their own little flavor, to. So,
yeah.
So yeah, it gives the opportunity to bring like a few different tricks, like either grinds or using the bowl, which is like a very specific type of riding as well. It's got a little bit of everything, and I guess it will be a bit more different for each rider. Everyone is gonna try to bring their own little thing to it. So I guess that's the hard part for the judge, is to be able to make the difference, to see all those little technical details. Big 540 for Diego on the fun box.
Diego has quite a nice run coming out here. Yesterday we noticed almost a lot of fatigue towards the end of his runs. Had a lot of speed and power coming up to that very large sub box, able to clear it at the start of his run as well.
Okay, so we're waiting.
Yes, still, as we mentioned yesterday, it's a very big course. It's built primarily for BMX riding, which these guys have a lot more speed on their bikes, and they're able to maintain that speed much better on bigger obstacles. But look how high this guy is flying on the fun box. Diego has the ability to go big on those obstacles, and he's been able to finish that line all the way through the 52nd, which is quite a big accomplishment on such a course indeed. Let's see what score the judges give him. Oh, that's a nice 75.3 points. I guess that's already a big improvement from his runs from yesterday, and it's going to be putting a little bit of pressure on the guys that were just a few points ahead of him, like CJ Wellsmore, the man from Australia, right now on your screen, getting ready for his first run of the day.
CJ Welsmer all the way from Australia. Like we were talking yesterday, he's going to be moving to Bangkok, Thailand, where he's going to be opening up his own camp or own
blade camps and skate school. He's gonna be giving lessons and setting up camps all around Asia. So if you're from Asia and you know of a good place or have a good idea for a camp, hit up CJ on all social media or cj.welsmore@gmail.com, because this guy is all ears. He's really interested and is looking forward to this new adventure. He's got all his stuff packed with him in his bags and he's flying to Bangkok right after this event. Oh no, a little miss for CJ here, and it's gonna cost him a lot of energy to get back in his run. Just 15 seconds before the end. And a little backflip to finish things off. It's still a lot of tricks all around the course. CJ has he's been used to riding bowls, and he has a great consistency on these bigger structures as well.
CJ, always a crowd pleaser, and as you saw in many sections of his run, while he was going to hit that box jump and then come backwards, always trying to get the crowd hyped up on his way. But take a look at this transfer right out of the gate. I saw him really trying to mentally get through that one yesterday as he just showed up to the course. There's a backflip to fakie there.
Yeah, a little crowd pleaser in the end. But as we saw, he missed a little bit earlier during his run, and then as soon as you miss up or you slip up a little bit on the landing, it's gonna cost you lots of speed. It's gonna cost you the opportunity to keep on going with your line, and you have to improvise. And on such a gigantic structure, we've said that word quite a few times, gigantic or huge, it is indeed a crucial part. Like, try to be as clean as possible so you maintain your speed through the whole run.
A man who's been touring all around South America, actually, to promote inlining, Roman Abrat.
And here he goes with his fresh new signature skate. Spin to win is written on the frames, and this guy can spin indeed. He's got his very own signature trick, and see how easy it is for him to float that 900 on the front box. That's this guy is really amazing, I must say. He's got everything on lock. I can imagine he's gonna go a bit more technical with a full Caballo top 1 star, for instance, on this little part of the course. As you said, it's a more technical part of the course, yeah. And it gave him a chance to also do some grinding, just as he did here with his zero spin topside acid. Roman can really do it all, so it's all about putting all these tricks together in a very nice line, and that's what he just did here. Let's see how the judges rank that one, but it's really solid first run for Roman.
Very solid and smooth riding.
Yeah, I guess he finally got used to the jet lag. He also said yesterday they was taking it easy until the finals, so I guess now is when we really see him go all in.
So as I'm looking at my scoreboard, we already have our first athletes in there. Diego Guiu sitting in first place currently, and new leader Roman Abrat stepping it up there with an 83 even.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid score. Like, that's gonna give him a solid seat to see what the other guys have. Like, I'm sure he can build upon that first one as well. Like, bring bigger tricks to it, and he'll just adapt. I guess that's a safe run for him, and he's got a lot more to offer. But now it's Yuma Baudouin on the course. Oh, a little miss on that one. And same thing, like Lou, at how much speed it actually takes to get back on top and keep on going. Fortunately, these 19-year-old legs still have all the power in the world. Boom, fakie 5 on transition. Stays fakie, goes back in the big course. 630 transfer. That's a really good line. Despite that little sketchy move in the middle, he's still going. Alright, 10 seconds to go. Maybe it's time for the last trick. Let's see, we should also mention the fact that yesterday we were skating at 8:30 in the evening, so the temperature was much fresher. It's probably a bit easier for the athletes. Now we're in the middle of the afternoon, and whether you're an athlete or just someone in the crowd, it definitely makes a big difference. a lot of sun, and for us on the beach right here, sipping on those lovely alcohol-free cocktails, it actually
virgin margaritas we have out here with our virgin mojitos and things like that. Yuma gonna not go into a spot that he's probably super happy with, but 4th place, 66.6. Then we are moving down to our defending FISE World Series champion, Julien Coudot.
2 times World Series champion, actually. Julien Coudot also had a good performance yesterday. Didn't perform his 3rd run, and we were afraid he might have hurt his ankle. He's been injured for 9 months already, but is slowly getting better, and he didn't want to risk. He started feeling the ankle aching, so he tried to save it for today and delivered his best performance. And so far, it's working pretty well. That backflip drop to just start things off and link up all those big tricks. He's been doing the disaster fish brain, the big flat 3, another flat 5.
I really like how he completely switched up line selection as opposed to all the other athletes. Started in, like you said, with that backflip drop in, shredded all the way across course to do that hand plant, and then all the way back.
Yeah, it's impressive, like how physical he can get on this course. Like he's been, as we said earlier, he's been one of those younger French skaters. He's been competing for a really long time already, but he's only 24 years old, and he's grown up skating bigger courses, big skate park, the biggest contest in the world. So this type of pressure, this type of structure he's been used to since he's 14, I think, and defeated one of the very best riders ever in the game, Mr. Prince Aragon. And look at how clean he's landing everything. That's a really, really good performance for Mr. Coudot for his 1st run.
So the score to beat is going to be from Roman Abrat. And yes, he does it, 90.33. Julien Coudot is your new hot seat leader right now as he bumps out Roman Abrat from 1st place with nearly 7-point lead.
And it should be noted that yesterday's best run, Nicolas Servi, was 87.5, I think, so it's already a 2.5 points improvement on yesterday's best run, which is saying how much pressure he just put on his opponents right now. Everybody has to go all in from the very start. There's no playing it safe, it's all about making the best run.
If a man is able to do it, it is Joe Atkinson, who we've seen time and time again blow out onto the scene with just these amazing runs that people, basically reinventing how you are able to tackle a contest course.
Yeah, he will take the most common obstacle and just do something absolutely different on it. I'll just ignore it altogether and transfer over it. He will always find this little surprise element, this creative element that's so important to skating, and bring it into his runs. And he's been doing lots of transfers. You don't see him doing that many big spins, for instance, compared to some of the other skaters on this course, but he's been using every inch of the course, like every small transfer, every big transfer, flying over the thing like it's nothing on this fresh new setup. I'm still not allowed to say what he's riding on right now, but you Blade nerds and you AJ, you are all able to see it if you look closely at the screen. I'm not allowed to comment on wheel size today. Also, I saw a couple angry people in the comments yesterday, so that's all you people, all 5 of you.
Why? What's wrong with commenting on wheel size? Hey, by the way, that I will take full responsibility for that. I was throwing him under the AJ. Oh, he's just doing that little hi guys, what's up with my skate?
Yeah, like at least now you guys know. You don't have to ask us any questions about this setup anymore. It's all there on the screen. So pay attention, boys, and maybe get yourself some Go Project wheels while you're at it.
I love when the season is almost just about starting and we're able to hint on different stuff. But okay, the score to beat right now is Julien Coudot with the 90.33. Is Joe Atkinson able to deliver that? We'll have to wait and see as the judges are plugging their scores in. Have a reveal. No, he is not. Going to go into 3rd place, the 78.66, right behind Roman Abrat. So Julien Coudot is holding on to that very strong lead. Now that means there's only one athlete left. Nicolas Servi, our top place qualifier from yesterday's event. Let's see if he is able to deliver flawless riding like he did yesterday.
If one guy can do it, it's Nicolas Servi indeed. Yesterday he had the best performance, the most power. But he started with a hard spin topsoul the past 2 times, and this time he was only going with the topsoul, so maybe he's still in that safe run mode, and I'm not sure there's not that much margin anymore, because Julien put a lot of pressure on all the other competitors with his first run. 90 points is a very, very high score. It's usually the winner's score, so all these guys really have to give their all if they want to compete for the top, one of the top spots or the top spot in this competition.
So the rider's dropping in here. Already he has such pressure on his shoulders for being first place qualifier. He's seen all the riders before him do their first runs. He knows what it takes now. Do you think that's just something in his mind? He wants to put in a safety run so that he gets one run locked in the bag?
I'm not sure what the strategy is, because if you look at Nicolas Servi, he has never fallen during his run throughout the last 2 days. He's super consistent. There's a couple things that he could definitely clean up on these runs, but he's so solid. Like, I don't see why he wouldn't go like full in right now.
Yeah.
At the same time, having a safe, like if he's just playing it safe and making sure he's got a really good score, he can sit on the top 3 or top 5 and rest assured that he has.
And it's not going to do it. 82 even. That's good enough for third place to bump out Joe Atkinson into fourth, but definitely not close enough to rival the 90.33 of Julien Coudot. Going back up to the top, Scott Quinn is going to drop in for his second run of 3.
Let's see Mr. Quinny deliver. Again, this guy has a lot of power, is one of the very best street skaters on the planet, and also one of the best park skaters. He is able to do it all, and it's always a pleasure to see this guy rip it. Like, he's really technical, but he's also got those big spins and those big transfers that the most experienced park skaters have. So let's see, going in reverse on that transfer, and then going with his big air on the transition, going for the hip right there, and a little lost in the middle of the course. Come on, Quinny, get them. Plus, he's got the best instrumental we've heard all day playing on the course right now. So go get that cream, Mr. Quinny. And that's it, 5 seconds left. Right, it's always a bit weird going back from the first run or some of the very best runs of the day and going back to the bottom of the list, because then the style might change entirely. It might be a totally different style of riding. So Mr. Quinny is showing you like a different direction that you can bring to skating, like a more original way of using the course, for instance, or a very stylish way of drinking water. He's got it all. Like, look at that fist bump. That was style. He's got it. Now we're going back to Switzerland with Mr. Diego Guillou.
Schwitzer.
From Geneva. From Genève. Allez, Diego.
Currently sitting in 5th place. Diego Guillou.
He qualified in 7th.
Oh,
no!
That was hard. That
That was
really
a hard fall. But I hope he's okay. He's a tough guy. He's a fighter. He can take the punches for sure, and he can deliver some as well. But I hope that one is fine. That was a really rough one. Damn, he pushed a bit too far on that.
Ooh.
Oh man. Like, it's the... He definitely took a big hit on the hip. At first I was afraid he hit the head as well.
Yeah,
I
but
think
no, that's just...
Yeah, the helmet might have saved him on that one, but I hope he's fine. I hope he'll be able to deliver a third run as well.
Shoulder inside there, yeah, very tough. Well, he is up, thankfully. Diego Guillou, I think, is going to step out there, and we are into... Yeah, we have Roman just taking a little bit of a warm-up. Not really that you need to stay warm during the off time here.
No, actually, I think the first thing you do is like jump in the water in between 2 of your runs. Just trying to stay fresh.
So after Diego, we have CJ Wellsmore from Australia, who is currently sitting in 6th place. CJ is trying to take a breather. He thought he had a little bit more time of recovery, but no. Back up into the ring.
All right, the flying wombat with no neck. Let's go, CJ. Show us how it's done. And here goes for the Bender boys in Sydney. If you're listening, if you're watching this, here goes CJ, and it's all for you guys.
Beauty amplitude off that spine coming back into the course.
Yeah, man, CJ's going fast, and he's doing tricks everywhere. Like he's performed really well so far, like doing tricks on all the obstacles. He's going fast, and he's really using the course, using the bigger elements, and flying on this 360 on the step up, and boom, going back with the big transfer, crossing the course full speed, and disaster on the corner, quarter pipe. And boom, hand flip 3.
Beauty landing on that one as well.
Yeah, I told you, I think it's one of my favorite tricks on this type of course because it looks really good, but it's so easy to miss. It's really hard to stick that one. And him and Joe Atkinson have been doing a few of those in their runs, and I really, really appreciate that element. I mean, it's a freestyle sport, so using your hands and bringing more creative tricks through that is always an interesting element, a little surprise flavor in that. Alright, that was a really good run for CJ. That was clean.
That was a very good run. It looked like he was happy with that one as well.
Don't be fighting, CJ. Don't do that. It's all about love. Remember, hashtag love.
Okay, so score to beat though.
90 points.
Oh, we're doing some Totteria. Inspector Norris in the background. I don't know if any of you guys know that, but you know.
CJ definitely knows that
A
tone.
little bit of my house love influence. Swedish DJs.
Okay, CJ, let's see if you can beat Julien Coudeau with the 90.33. No, it's not going to be enough, but it's good enough for second place. CJ Welmsmore moves into silver spot right now with an 83.16. Man, he just bumped out Roman Abrat sitting with an 83 even. Is he able to retaliate? 50 seconds on the clock.
I think he's got what it takes. It's all about getting clean, landing every trick clean, and if that's something Roman can do, that's definitely keeping those fresh lines, keeping it clean and keeping the speed all the way through. He's got the tricks, he's got the technical aspect all covered, so it's all about linking all these tricks together. And I guess he had a safe first run, and then Julien Coudeau put a lot of pressure on everyone, so now I don't think anybody is gonna take any chances, and especially not Mr. Roman Abrat. He's currently the world champion for FISE, so he has a lot to prove on the FISE as well. Julien's won the World Series twice, and Roman is still waiting for that first title on the FISE World. So 2018 is gonna be a year to watch out for. And that was a really good run as well. Tricks everywhere, no miss, very clean, everything.
I'm going to put you on the spot now as you have such great judging experience. Is he going to bump out Julien Coudeau with that one?
I would say no, because he's maybe lacking a bit of the wow factor. Like Julien Coudeau dropping in with the backflip, for instance. From the very first second of his run, Julien Coudeau is already like full power, and I guess that makes the difference. That's probably how I would explain his 90 points. He's going from the very first to the very last second. He's going in for the big tricks. And when it comes to big tricks, this little man is all comfortable. That was clean landing, and he kept the fakie going all the way through the wall ride, which was bothering me yesterday, so he's definitely improved on that. Boom. I'm not sure these guys listen to the live cast, but just so you know, I love you all. Hashtag love.
Hashtag we are all perfect. We are one.
No, now we're going more into the live coaching thing again.
Let's not go into the live coaching anymore. I don't need to sound too spiritual on this feed. That's why you can go visit me in Bali at some point in July if you really want to hear that whole spiel. Or, you know, you can...
Whoa.
We'll see if we get a spot into Bangkok.
Yeah, let's see. CJ, the offer still stands. We're still looking for jobs.
Yeah, I definitely am. Yuman Boudouin, that's going to do for his second run. Unfortunately, had a couple mishaps in there. I don't think it's going to be enough to rival the top. It still could be good enough for the 80s.
Yeah, the thing is, Julien Kudo's run has scored so high and has been so impressive from start to finish that every single mistake, every small little miss, like every time you land a bit too low on a quarter pipe, is gonna cost you points. It's gonna be really, really hard to go get Julien, and then I would say he's managed the hold up. He's managed to put the pressure from his very first run on all his opponents, and I guess he's now the one who can relax while everyone else is actually running after him. But let's see, because he's not one man to chill out either, and he knows he can always change in just a matter of 50 seconds. So anyone can win still. Whoa!
Oh, he's still with that huge backflip, dropping and all the way across course this time.
It seems like he's going bigger and faster with every run as well. Oh, transfer from one quarter pipe to the other with a big backside rail transfer, mid flat 3. Whoa! He's definitely taking lots of risks. He's not playing it safe at all. And he knows the big prize money is all for him if he keeps on going, so I don't see a reason why he would stop. Big flat 5, double U-Kang, fake E7. I didn't count the number of tricks, not that you should, but it's definitely been a lot packed in just 50 seconds. Oy.
They're actually hard at the buzzer. Don't know if that's even going to count as a fall, but you can just see it was the fatigue almost. Didn't have enough energy to hold up his legs at the end of that one. But Julien Goudot trying to just rival his own score that's on top there. Miles ahead of CJ Wellsmore right now in second place with an 83.16.
And look at the disaster backside rail. Nobody's been crossing through this entire obstacle yet, so that was a first as well. Like, he's still improving from his first run. I think the fall at the end might no, not even, like 92 points. He even improved on that one. It was definitely bigger, more risk even than the first one. So as I said, this guy is not gonna take it easy, and he can relax for a couple of runs while the others are trying to play catch up with him. Play catch, is that how you say?
No, play catch up. That's exactly it. English is very on point. Joe Atkinson, speaking of English, dropping in right now for his second attempt. We know he is a very competitive tiger, so yes,
same thing. He's gonna go all in. Sorry for...
No. 360 down that spine there, and the huge transfer as well that we saw CJ Wellsmore do.
Oh no! That was a dangerous fall. That was a really dangerous one, but he's been... See, like, Kudo has put so much pressure on the other guys that they really have to go all in. So for instance, this transfer to grind, to transfer to the other quarter pipe, he has to go for it. He might have hesitated before, but now he knows that if he wants to get near Kudo's score, he really has to go for these big tricks.
And as you see, he just walks off course. After that, he knows that he needs a flawless run to keep it anywhere close to the 92 of Julien Goudot. So he's going to just sit down and savor his energy for his third and final attempt. That is the nice thing, that the inline athletes get those 3 attempts. Of course, Joe is going to sit with his first 78.66 score, run number 1. But we're moving into yesterday's top competitor, the first place qualifier from yesterday, Nicolas Servi.
Let's see, no safe runs anymore. Now there's no time for games. And boom, we start. Like, he's got that one. Every try, it's one of the hardest spin to grinds you could do, and he's got it on lock. And every trick he's got dialed in, and every time he locks this stall up the wall perfects. Big flat 5 transfer. Fishman is using this little technical part of the course as well. At this point, anything less than perfect is not gonna beat a 92 point score. So I think Nico is really well aware of that and is gonna try to perform to his very, very best. Whoa, there was a little danger factor on this one. And That was a really solid 50 seconds. I really wouldn't want to be sitting with the judges today. I'm really happy to be here on this beach with you, Ryan. I know it's a bit earlier than yesterday, and
we're gonna get that beautiful sunset. Remember how pink it was yesterday?
Yeah, true. But you're gonna be sitting watching some BMX by then, and I'll probably be swimming in the sea. But
you're going on the scuba lessons.
yeah, if you see some dolphin passing around, that's probably
Okay,
me.
yeah, or the shark eating you. Yeah, that's great. Cool.
No sharks in.
Swimming across to Egypt? I would.
Yeah, no. Maybe
Scores
not.
coming in. Huge improvement for Nicolas Servi with an 88.83. Pushes him into a very respectable second place right now. Still 4 points behind, or 3 points, let's say, behind the 92 of Julien Coudot. But up for the third run now. The 3 times passing with Scott Quinn.
Alright, so yeah, we are back at the bottom of the list, and none of these guys have the luxury of not performing at the very best, basically. Like, it's a perfect run or nothing at this point. And Nicolas Servi was very close, but he stumbled on a couple of the landings. It was a little bit sketchy every now and then, and that might explain the 3 points difference. It's got some really big tricks, some big transfers, but it's got to be perfect or nothing. In the meantime, Quinny is performing a really nice, really solid and clean run, going all the way back up with this Macchio stall on the wall ride. He's definitely using the course in a way only he can, like using some of the weirdest transfer. He's been doing stalls on the fences, weird little things that show how confident he is on this case. Oh.
Going for a little stall up there on the judges' tower.
I guess after 50 seconds of running around this course, this might just be a tiny little bit too high. But he's got a big smile on his face. That was a nice performance by Quinny. Let's see how the judges feel about this. And let's see how Diego feels after this rough fall on his second run. Hope the man's all good.
Yeah, like we just saw there, Diego Guillot from Switzerland. Sleeves up, so I don't know if he's getting ready to drop in again. It would be nice. I'd like to see him for the third run out here. In the meantime, waiting for the score to come in from Scott Quinn. Scott Quinn is gonna have a little improvement, 0.2. So still staying that 8th place right there. But now we are moving to Diego Guillot, and not entirely sure if he is going to... that's Roman Abrat dropping in and going across the other side. No, CJ Wellsmore is up there, so I think we're going to skip Diego right now. CJ amped up and ready to drop in all the way from Australia.
Boom. Really high air on the first one. Big flat 5-0 with a little bit of whoa moment in the air, but he still manages to stick that one. Then he's going for the big 5 and back down the spine. Lots of power in those legs as well. Big 9 on the step up. There's a perfect landing, little abstract zero spin air. He's definitely one of the most interesting characters to watch on skates and off skates. Oh, a little miss on the disaster can grind. But I guess all he wants is not a perfect run. It's not the best score today. It's not the first place. CJ doesn't care. CJ is just like all of you. It's just like all of us. He wants love. And from what he tells me, he finally found the perfect French girl to be with, and he's gonna be with her in a few days in Thailand. And Cindy, if you're listening, CJ couldn't be a happier man right now. Well, thank you for that.
I heard the very same thing, so I'd be really happy to meet you. Maybe we have a good time under the sun.
Yeah, however, I'm really sorry if you find Ryan and I myself crashing on your couch sooner than expected. Cindy, if you find us sleeping on your couch, I apologize in advance. We're fine gentlemen. We'll be behaving.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, Bangkok might not that be easy.
Roman Abrat dropping in for his third and final attempt here. Currently with his first run score of an 83.0. He's wanting to rival his other French countryman Julien Coudeau, who is now sitting with that 92, hasn't gone out of the 90s yet today. Is Roman Abrat able to do it?
I think he's able to do it. There's only a fraction of a point between him and CJ Wellsmore in third place. So I can't see Roman not performing at his very best level in this last run. Like, he likes the pressure, he's a competitor for sure, and he's got big things to do on the circuit this year. So far it's a pretty flawless run. Big spins, a little sketchy on the landing on this fun box. So again, that's a really nice performance, but is it enough to go sit in the first place or on the podium for that matter? It's been some really, really nice performances. The scores are really high, and it's true that Mr. Coudeau has outdone himself for his second run, so interesting. Like, I don't want to let my mind run too wild, because that's one thing only the judges can do right now. And I don't want to be in that position again. Look how exhausted he is. That's 3 times 50 seconds run on one of the biggest courses on the planet. All these guys are really putting in a lot of effort. Really great performances. I hope you all are enjoying it. 50K of you on the other side of the screen. I actually looked at the numbers yesterday and you lied to me. It's not 5, it's 50,000 people watching this. So all of you, I hope you really enjoy this. Oh, and a 1260. That's 3.5 rotations, and I think it just hurt his shoulder.
I think he just dislocated his shoulder, which is really unfortunate. Hate it when that happens.
I think he knows the move. I think I've seen it happen before, but what's really unfortunate is that he missed on his first trick. Oh, that was really close. It's one of the biggest spins you can do in such a fun box. And yeah, really unfortunate injury. I hope he's fine. Again, I don't think that's the first time.
He's up top. He put it back in already.
Yeah, I think I've seen him do that a couple times already. Dislocate the shoulder, put it back in. If you've seen Lethal Weapon, is one of those guys. You can call him Mel Gibson. Come on, Yuma. I know it's gonna be fine. Hope.
Perfect. I love you. Thank you so much.
So you think he's going in again? What's going on now? Howard, telling us what is going on.
So Yuma, holding with that sign of the devil.
Unfortunate, but he's sitting in 7th place, just a fraction of a point ahead of Scott Quinn. And now we're back with Julien Coudeau. As you can see, he's changed positions compared to his previous run. He's now sitting on top of the big wall. Oh no, sorry.
Whoa!
That's this backflip again. And now he might say it might look easy because he's done it perfect every time, but if you see no one else doing it, it's because it's not easy. And big disaster, top acid on this wall, big flat 3. Once again, he's pulling together the perfect, powerful run with a 900 spin transfer. So as you can see, he's spinning a lot. He's doing lots of tricks. He's using all the course. He's going for the biggest obstacles as well. For the amplitude, he's got the speed. And that was a little bit sketchy, but all of the rest has been absolutely perfect. So it's a no-brainer why this guy is in the first place so far. And no falls at the end of this one. Same thing. He's done 3 absolutely amazing runs today. And no matter what happens with the rankings on that one, he's still first place for now. And that must be really comfortable.
He has a high first place, very high actually.
Yeah, 3 points advance.
And we see actually, you guys are paying attention. Yeah, you can see the there's a little bit of a bobble there. And we see some really nice slow motion replays. Julien is Trying to hold it together. Oh man, that he improves once again. The only athlete who has kept him score in the 90s and then improved every single run.
Yeah, he started with 90.3, then 92, and now 95 on his final run. To say he put pressure on his opponents from the very start of this competition until the very last second is not a lie.
Is a very big understatement. Joe Atkinson treadmilling it up top of the big sub box there. He wants to get the crowd out here in Jeddah behind him, dropping into some Daft Punk instrumentals. Joe Atkinson. Oh no, that's it. Rough. Yeah, that's so rough. We all knew that it's going to take a flawless run to rival that 95 of Julien Coudeau. And with all that pressure on the first trick, Joe goes down.
Oh no, and second time. But anyway, it was all for the fun and see a little dance move. Maybe it was inspired by CJ's CJ's breakdance moves yesterday. That was a good performance by Joe. Unfortunately, if you fall on the first trick, or any trick for that matter, given the performance that Coudeau has done today, a single mistake is gonna cost you a lot. So starting off like this is obviously, you know, in your head, as much as you want to keep on going, you know that it's over. So far it's a 5th place for Joe.
Then
And now
there was one. And now there was one athlete left. Our first place qualifier from yesterday, who stepped up his score in run number 2 to sit with this 88.83. Nicolas Servi about to drop in the only athlete who is able to rival Julien Coudeau's 95. Can he do it?
last run of the day, last chance. Let's go, Nico.
Wow! And from that, I can already say no.
Yeah, if it comes down to the points, I think we won't see any changes. But he tried to go for 540 true spin topsail transfer. That's a lot of words for just one trick. It's a really hard one. It's a technical one. It requires spinning 1.5 rotation before you lock your feet in the right position on a coping that's like 1.5 meters above transition. That was a really dangerous start of the run. But again, he's just damn. Still going. Still going. I mean, he's been training with the very best in the sport. He's been skating with Julien, a lot of really talented park skaters in France, so he knows what it takes to win such an event. And after Julien's performance, he knew he had to go for the big stuff. So that little front flip on the step up is just a little icing on the cake. Enjoyable performance. But when it comes down to the scores, I think you've all understood that nothing is gonna change from what we've seen previously. So I guess Mr. Coudeau will be walking away with first place today.
Those French kids love to do front flips where they're almost clipping their heads off, aren't they? You want to know what I'm referring to? Obviously, it's from Montpellier when Julien Coudeau did the massive step up the quarter pipe to sub box feature. So close to his head. But yes, of course, we see that Nicolas Servi is sticking with the 88.83. We knew that was going to happen, and that leaves it unofficially. Julien Coudeau from France is going to be the champion out here for the launch event in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Gonna wait for the scores to be completely revealed officially on screen. And what were your thoughts, Freddie, after this amazing final we just had?
Well, in different circumstances, Nicolas Servi could have expected a first place with a very strong score of 88 points, but Julien Coudeau, as you can see here, delivered an absolutely perfect run for 95 points with his double flat spin, double grab. Big transfers such as this one with the 900, like catching the very top of the transition, getting all the speed, going all the way up with another fakie 7. He's been doing tricks on every obstacle. He's been hitting all the biggest ramps. He's been going for 50 perfect seconds every time and improved on his scores. So I guess it's been really hard for his opponents. And yeah, pleased with his performance.
Some beautiful highlights there of Julien Coudeau's top run, and that is why is sitting as the FISE World Series defending 2017 champion. Let's take a look at how our top 8 ended up after these 3 amazing heats or full runs out here in the absolute blistering heat of Saudi Arabia.
And if this event was anything to go by for this year, this is a promises of what we could expect on the World Series.
So there you see Julien Coudeau with the 95 on top, Nicolas Servi as well from France with an 88.83, CJ Wellsmore from Australia, nice to see him on the podium there with an 83.16, Roman Abrov with an 83 even, very close behind, Joe Atkinson in 5th place, Diego Guillo in 6th place, Yuma Boudoir in 7th, and Scott Quinn in 8th. There are many competitions going on out here at the FISE. We only are able to launch a couple of them live to you, but if you're in the venue, we're going to have our parkour contest starting in a couple minutes, and then stay tuned because we're going to have live our top event, the BMX Freestyle Park Pro Finals. It's going to be coming your way at 7 p.m. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and as well, of course, make sure you guys stay tuned for the rest of the FISE World Series. Let's look at our next stop, which is going to be in Hiroshima, Japan. That's right, you guys. We are extremely happy to welcome you guys over to Hiroshima, Japan, April 6th to 8th. Thanks so much for joining us out here for the Freestyle Roller Park Pro Final in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much on behalf of myself, Ryan Meyer, and Freddie White. We'll check you next time in Japan.
Okay.